Yes, hi, hello, and welcome back to Be Intellectual. I'm going to continue my Uncomfortable Places segment all throughout this week and next week because my hookup culture video last week just really sparked a fire that I'm really passionate about, and which is like modern day sexuality. But today I'm going to actually talk about something that's super hard for me to talk about, and I just feel like it's right on time. This one's going to be a really heavy topic. I wasn't going to do anything heavy until a little bit later as I got comfortable with my new channel, but hey, fuck it. No better time than now, right? Just because you're in a relationship and yes, you can love that person maybe or care about them or whatever, it's committed, it's exclusive, blah, blah, blah. Like, if your girlfriend or whoever you're with doesn't want to have sex with you, they don't have to have sex with you, period. And just because you're ready to go all the fucking time and just because you want some doesn't mean she has to give it up to you. And just because you are with her does not mean you're entitled to have her whenever you want to, period. Because even when in a relationship, it still needs to be consensual sex, point blank, period. My psych professor actually posed that. She was like, there's a stigma about like, can rape happen in relationships? And I said, absolutely, 100%. Rape happens in relationships all the time, period. Because they think that, oh, there's a sexual precedent here. So like, oh, because we've had sex numerous times before, you hadn't had a problem with it. Whenever I'm ready, you're supposed to be ready too. And that's not how this works, okay? Like, different libidos, different whatever, different hormones, times of the months, whatever, stress levels. There's just so much that plays into it. And I don't owe you my pussy if I don't want to give it to you just because we're together. I don't have to do that. And as someone who's supposed to be my significant other, you should respect that. And you should care about me and my well-being. And so, I've actually been a victim of that. I'm actually a victim of sexual abuse since I was a kid for a long time. And I worked through the processes and everything, and I'm, aware and just, a lot of therapy, a lot of things, but, I am actually a victim of relationship rape, and it wasn't until today that I've actually said these words out loud. This is actually my first time saying these words out loud to myself, by myself. I wanted to tell my best friend for the longest time, and I just don't know, I didn't have the balls to do it. It's just one of those things that's just so mind-blowing that could even happen. Like, you're supposed to be my significant other, you're supposed to care for me, you're supposed to love me, even if you're not in love with me, but like have love for me and my body and who I am. And yeah, it wasn't until my professor said that today, and I was just like taken aback, and I was like, I've got to record this because I'm feeling all these different types of emotions, because this happened a couple of years ago and I've suppressed it so hard, and I've damn near forgot about it until she said it. And then all the thoughts, all the emotions, all the feelings started rushing back to me as if it would have happened yesterday and put me right back there. And that's when I realized, like, I've grown so much from other things, but that one thing, because I didn't do what I was taught through like therapy and working through my other, like abuses, like I just hit a wall and just kind of blocked it out. And so I just want to share that with you guys. Like, no means no, whether you're in a relationship or not. You're not entitled to a woman's body, point blank, period. And just because you watch porn that tells you that you can, or just because you've been taught that your whole entire life, like, you're a man, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, news motherfucking flash, no, you cannot. And that's why we have all these different people coming out now and speaking out, because they've been so afraid. And I don't even know why myself I felt afraid, to be honest, But this is the first time I have ever said those words out loud. And if my mom, if you are watching this, we are not going to discuss it because I am fine. And I'm working through it, but I just feel so relieved, you guys. Like, goddamn, like, Jesus Christ. It's just one of those things when it's happening, you never think I just never thought that could be a thing. I never thought that was ever a possibility in my life, honestly. I just afterwards, I just felt so dirty and just used and just all these things. And I just violated and betrayed and confused, mostly because I'm in this relationship with you. And we've already set our precedent in the beginning. And, you know, it wasn't even a new relationship, you guys. It was like we had been together for almost 2 years at this point. And when this happened. And so I just was so baffled that he would do something like that to me. And the fact that he knows my, you know, history with sexual abuse, like the fact that you thought that you could just take advantage of me like that is just mind-blowing to me. I don't know, like I have no word. I just have no words for it. And I just feel bad for the women who this has happened to, because I know this happened to several people. But we never talk about this. We never talk about rape in relationships. I thought that was taboo. It was a myth, and it happened to me, and it's not taboo. It's not a myth. And I feel like we need to talk about this topic so much more, because it happens, I think, probably more often than regular rape does, because people are in a committed relationship or they're exclusive or whatever. And that's why men feel like they're entitled, because like, oh, well, you're my girlfriend, like there's a title. Or, well, we've been doing this for the last couple of years, so this is mine. Again, like, you're not entitled just because there's a title. You're not entitled because I've been with you for however long. Like, no, you're not entitled because I've given up to you before. Like, you're never entitled. It's always a choice. Like, you always have a choice. And if you say no and your choice is no, and they don't respect that, then it's rape, point blank. Because even in a relationship, it should still be consensual sex. Just because we're together doesn't mean, you know, I'm entitled to everything that you own, right? Like, let's think about, like, money, you know? Like, just because we're married or just because we're in a relationship doesn't mean all your money is my money. Because then if I rob you, then that's robbery. You feel me? Like, you're going to be mad about that. Like, why would you take all my money, you know? Like, I trusted you to have, you know, access to my accounts or whatever the hell it is, and then you rob me blind? What? And it's like, you're going to feel some type of way. And so you robbed me of the trust that I had for you, the love that I had for you, how I cared about you. You know, you robbed me of, honestly, all the progress that I have made in my life. You robbed me of all of that. And now I have to start back over. And you're completely fine. And that's really hard. You have fucked up my trust for anyone to come after you. Because now it's like, regardless of how much time passes, I will never fully be able to, like, trust whoever is next to come or whatever, because it was 2 years and then this happened. And that's a long time. That's a long time. And to build up that type of, like, love and care and whatever for somebody, you know, and just to destroy it all is just so fucked up. And, like, for your own personal gain too, like, you have no idea how that made me feel. And you went about your day like nothing happened, like this was regular consensual sex, and it wasn't. And now I'm sitting here feeling like dirty and used and all this shit, and just going through all these psychological issues, and it really fucked somebody up. And, you know, I just feel bad for all the women who this has happened to, because I'm sure it's happened to more people than I can probably count, and no one has said anything. And look at me, it's taken me damn near 3 years to sit here and say something. And the fact that I'm saying it to my fucking subscribers and whoever the fuck comes across this goddamn video for the very first time, I'm saying this out loud, speaks volumes. And it speaks volumes in positive ways, because that means I'm strong. I'm that much stronger. And now that I have said it out loud, I have accepted it. This is who I am. No, this is what has happened to me, but this is not who I am. I'm not gonna let my story and what has happened to me define who the fuck I am. I'm still a kick-ass bitch, okay? And I'm proud. Like, I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud that I didn't let this consume me, because I can only imagine other victims that this has happened to. And, you know, people spiral. They do crazy shit, and they feel like they can't tell anybody because it doesn't sound believable. Like, but you are together with this person, so how is that considered rape? And it's like, because I didn't want to have sex at that moment. I didn't want to. And they did it anyways. And I'm like, you know, so we've just got to shed more light on it. And men, you're not entitled to fucking pussy. I don't give a fuck if it's your best friend, your girlfriend, or your wife. Like, you're not entitled. You're not entitled to shit. Stop watching porn, because that's not real life, okay? Just, no, you're not entitled. You are not entitled. And I feel like women would be more open to men if they understood that. But the fact that most men don't even take the time out to understand where a woman is coming from is where the disconnect lies. What really gets me the most is this. This cracks me up, and I'm going to touch more on this next week. But men always, without fail, love to say, oh, well, if it was my sister or my mama, that's different. If it was your sister or your mom, it's different when men are disrespectful, overly aggressive. It's different because that's your blood. Is that what? That's what I'm hearing. Okay, so what you're saying is that it's okay for you to do that to other women because they're not your blood. And I'm gonna leave you guys on that note. Just think about that. At the end of the day, one, women rule the world, because without my womb, without my womb, you wouldn't be here, my G. And I love, like, again, I'm not religious, so whatever, and I don't give a fuck. But I just love how everyone's like, Eve came from Adam. Like, right, okay. So what you're saying is that Adam has a dick and a vagina. Heard. Okay. Granted, and that's just me shitting on religious texts because that shit don't make no sense. But I understand it because I grew up in the church and I no longer am a part of any type of religious affiliation. It's whatever. So I get it. When I was in the church, I understood. But like in actuality, real life logic, like, so what you're telling me is that he either shat her out of his asshole, or he has a vagina and a penis all at the same time. Okay, whatever. Anyways, and because we make the world go around. So if we decided to just go on strike, and instead of marching, and I love our women's marches, but instead of marching, we just decided, like, hey, we're not gonna give up no pussy for the next, like, I don't know, because we can hold out a lot longer than men can. So whatever. We got toys, we got shit to fix shit. But if we decided to literally just be like, oh, well, we're out, like, zip, close up shop, you ain't getting in here, y'all would lose your minds. You would lose your minds. Y'all spend so much time trying to crawl back in the hole you came out of, and you can't even fucking respect it unless it's your mother. Oh, the disrespect. And just the double standards. All of it just makes no sense to me. It's just all so baffling. Like, I don't get it. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, stay tuned for next week, because I'm definitely going to bring on somebody to have an intellectual conversation with one of my really good friends who's very insightful on this topic. And we'll just hear what he has to say to get the male point of view. And but I feel very liberated, and I feel very relieved to finally get that off my chest. For those of you that have been a victim of relationship rape, I stand with you. I am sorry that happened to you, but that is not who you are. That is not going to define you in your future. Don't let it. Don't live there. Don't dwell. None of that. Just say it out loud like I did today. Accept it and move on. Release it. Say it out loud. Accept, release with love, and move on. Because you're a bad bitch, and you're a boss bitch, and don't ever forget that, bitch. Because you know why, sis? We rule the motherfucking world. We make the world go round. Just like Beyonce said, who runs the world? Girls. Yes, the fuck we do. That is all. That is it. That is all. That is it, and that is all. Whew.